Hey guys, it's Overlord here, back in another video. Today we'll be talking about my top 10 favorite Marvel Legends. Now this will be strictly Hasbro figures, and since 2012, so nothing prior to that, nothing from Toy Biz. There will be some new additions, as well as some returning characters from the last list I did in November. It was recently the anniversary of Marvel Legends, so I figured, why not? So with that being said, let's get things started with number 10.
And starting off at number 10, we have the most well-endowed Marvel Legends figure, being the Marvel Legends Green Goblin Wave Black Cat from 2014. This started the whole boom of female figures that we Legends collectors go gaga over because we can't get the real thing. So with that being said, this figure is very well sculpted, and this is the first time I believe this body was used. The only other times I could think of that it was used, we learned to talk here, was on Rogue, Spider-Woman, and Hellcat. Other than that, I don't think it's been reused too much, so the body's held up. Unlike the Moonstone mold, which is used on every other figure. Oh well. But Black Cat here definitely deserves the number 10 spot. The reason she scores so low is because she is a pain in the butt to stand. With that being said, let's move on to number 9. And the number 9 spot goes to the Marvel Legends Absorbing Man Wave SpiderCarnage from 2016. This is a reuse of Pete's Spidey body, and it's the best one because you get 2 for the price of 1, or if you're a sucker, you bought 2, so you didn't have to keep swapping the parts out, but you do get the regular Spidey hands and head, as well as the interchangeable Carnage hands and head, which is what I prefer to use, mostly because I'm a sucker for symbiotes, and this one is no exception. Although this body is starting to show its age, because this is the point where the butterfly joint started to go. So, with that being said, be careful when handling later releases of this body. Could potentially, go. But with that being said, let's move on to number 8. And the number 8 spot goes to Moon Knight from the Marvel Legends Vulture Wave from, well, a couple weeks ago. Or a month, depending. Oh yeah, it came out in 2017 for those of you watching way in the future. I don't know anyone's going to give a crap by then. But, oh well. The reason he scores so low is because he just came out, still warming up to him. My first Moon Knight figure, on the plus side. I like it a lot, actually. Probably going to wind up on the top 10 Legends of the year for this year, 2017. But just too new to rank any higher than anywhere between 10 and 6 for me right now. He could rank higher later, but we'll have to wait and see. So he definitely deserves to be on this list, just not higher than some of the other figures that came before him. So with that being said, let's move on to number 7. Coming in at number 7, probably one of Hasbro's rarest Marvel Legends, next to that piece of crap Fin Fang Foom, and that semi-piece of crap Ares. You have the Deadpool from Marvel Legends Juggernaut Wave from, again, 2016. Last year was a really good year for Marvel Legends. A lot of figures that came out last year wound up on this list. Somehow. But with that being said, this figure comes with a boatload of accessories. Comes with 2 pistols, 2 katana swords, 1 dagger, 2 larger scale guns. One's like a riot shotgun, the other one's like a space machine gun. A bazooka with a boxing glove attached to it, an alternate head shown as Freddy Krueger face, and a taco kissy. But with that being said, that's enough said. I probably committed toy sin not putting this guy higher, but hey, I'm not the biggest Deadpool fan, so screw you. So with that being said, let's move on to number 6. And coming in at number 6, we have the Marvel Legends Hobgoblin Wave. This is from 2015. You have the Pizza Spidey, the infamous Pizza Spidey. Comes with all hands, 3 sets of hands, a piece of pizza, and an alt head with the mask half pulled up. And then, of course, fully masked head, as you see before you. I don't really care for the new one in the Mary Jane 2-pack, so this will still be my go-to Spider-Man. I wish I had the McFarlane-looking one from the Raft box set, but alas, I do not. But with that being said, this is still a great figure. Probably the best Spider-Man next to the Toy Biz McFarlane one, even though that one's got balls for shoulders. And when I say balls, I mean balls. So with that being said, there's really not much to talk about with this guy other than watch the butterfly joints, and apparently this guy is actually quite rare as well. Figure I saw everywhere. Now it's $60 on eBay. Who'd have thunk it? With that being said, let's move on to number 5. Final 5. And taking the number 5 spot is the infamous Taskmaster with the infamous ankle joints, which I forgot to mention are also on the Moon Knight figure that was the number 8 spot earlier in this video. But this guy comes with 2 different heads, a laser sword, a shield, the best ankle rockers probably Marvel Legends has ever seen, aside from maybe some of the Toy Biz ones, because they did hinge without that joint. But nonetheless, it looks cleaner on this guy. And I could totally see him reusing this figure for Doctor Doom in the future. Possibly. Obviously need a new torso, but hey. It's probably one of the best versions of the Bucky cap ever released. That's exactly what the torso is, anyways. But yeah, so he definitely deserves the number 5 spot. I don't have a lot of connection with the character, otherwise he might have ranked higher, but as an action figure, he's definitely one of the best Hasbro's had to offer. But with that being said, let's move on to the number 4 spot. And let the hate floweth through. Say what? Yep, taking the number 4 spot is the Marvel Legends Raft box set. SDCC 2016 exclusive Dread Knight. And I forgot to mention Taskmaster is from the Onslaught wave from last year as well. Technically Red Skull, but you know what I mean. But Dread Knight here, really stoked that they made this guy. This was the first time this body was used, I believe, and then it was later used on the Hobgoblin, and then not too long after the Green Goblin. So I would expect it to be used on the Demo Goblin later this year. We'll find that out next week, I think, or this week, depending on when I upload this. But yes, Dread Knight comes with a lance, comes with a sword, new head, new cape, Doctor Doom looking cape again. Reuses Baron Zemo's belt and some parts of the Bucky cap mold that we have seen before, but I'm looking past that because it's a freaking Dread Knight figure. Wanted this guy forever. Finally have it. So stoked to have it. Definitely deserves a spot on this list. Why he wasn't in the first place, I do not know. With that being said, I babbled on long enough. Let's move on to the number 3 spot. And taking the number 3 spot, the only Build-A-Figure on this list is the Build-A-Figure Dormammu from the Doctor Strange wave of last year, 2016. This is a figure I've been wanting forever, and when they put it in a Comic-Con box set that I did not acquire, I was sore and full of rage because why didn't they make this a Build-A-Figure? Well, they did. And then those people were sore and full of rage because they already had it. Well, you know what? Screw you. Not everyone can go to Comic-Con and drop $120 on a box set. You fucking insane? Either way, this figure is amazing. The best Build-A-Figure Hasbro's ever made because unlike Fin Fang Foom, his head is not proportionate to that of a Funko Pop, and he doesn't have puny little crap wings that wouldn't be able to lift him if they tried. So, in other words, he's proportionate. Fin Fang Foom is a turd. So with that being said, definitely deserves a spot on this list. And with that being said, let us move on to the number 2 spot. And coming in number 2 spot is my wife, the Marvel Legends Titus Wave Angela from this year, 2017. This figure is a 100% unique body mold as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I can tell anyways. The hair's unique, the body's unique, very well endowed as well. Maybe not as much as Black Cat. Very well endowed, indeed. The legs are new, and this started the trend of Hasbro actually making stuff separate and attaching it via glue, as opposed to trying to paint it and making it part of the sculpt, the base sculpt that is. Evidence being her boots that go up to her thighs there. Those are actually separate pieces. The only downside with that, if I can talk, is I wish the thigh cut was where the boots ended, or I guess started, as opposed to being above the 2 little strap dealies on her hips there, which you can see. Other than that, she's a fantastic figure, and I highly recommend if you have not bought this thing, you do so. She also comes with 2 axes, which I like, and a sword, and a scarf, which if you tuck behind the sword sheath, you know, in between that and her little butt cloth, it'll flatten out and stay down. Just a little tip. But with that being said, the moment you've all been waiting for, probably knew at the beginning of the video, time to move on to the number 1 spot. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, and totally knew about at the beginning of this video. My number 1 Marvel Legends from Hasbro has got to be the Ghost Rider from the Rhino Wave, 2015. I found this dude in Kmart. Now let me rephrase that. I picked this figure up in 2015, right when he came out, in dusty old Kmart. I know. Crazy, right? Granted, it would have been nice if he already came with this chain, which I got on the cheap, to my surprise. And, probably to yours. Would have been nice if it came with a bike, but I heard they're going to try and make a bike. I don't know if it's for this figure or for a potential Danny Ketch, which would dethrone this Ghost Rider, since I limited my list to 1 Ghost Rider, because Hasbro has made several. Actually, if you include the movie figures and the blue and orange ones from 2012. But nonetheless, this is the best one out of all of them. The most streamlined, doesn't have any flash, doesn't have any paint issues. And when I say flash, that means excess stupid plastic that should not be there. But with that being said, that is my number 1. If you don't like it, suck it, make your own list. And until next time, I will catch you guys later. And I will probably do another one of these at the end of the year, or early next year, depending. So with that being said, again, hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.